Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today is a really exciting day for me because we have in our studio the Jabra Elite Active 65T. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, several months ago, we were really pleased to be able to get into our studio the Jabra Elite 65T, which in my review is one of the best earbuds on the market today. It's one that I use every single day, and it's the one that I take with me on trips anytime I want something small, something that fits in my ear, and that has absolutely outstanding audio quality for taking phone calls, not just for you to listen to the call, but for your also callers that may be subject to external noise. So today, very excited that Jabra sent us the active version. So we're going to do an unboxing of the active version, we're going to do an audio test of the active version, and we're going to see why it has a designation of active. Let's get right to it.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
Now, just like the previous version that we looked at, the 65T, Jabra includes a wide range of accessories that are going to meet your needs for having a custom fit. Here we have our charging case, and it is very similar to the one that we saw with the 65T non-active version. The earbuds right here, and I have to say, just by looking at them, the initial version that I had seen at the show was a blue, but I actually prefer the black much more. I think this is a pretty good looking earbud, and you definitely get those in the package. You do get some ear gels, and one tip is that while these fit really well and give you a great audio seal, don't be afraid to mix and match sizes because our ear canals could be a little bit different in each ear, so you don't have to choose two of the same type to get the best audio fit. Make sure that you try them, and if you find that one ear is looser than the other or one leaks audio, or you can hear more from the outside world with one, switch the tips and that may help you out. You also get a standard guide around usage and then a micro USB cable for charging. Make sure that regardless if you're using an iPhone or an Android phone that uses USB-C, that you keep this cable because you'll need it to charge your earbuds. Keep in mind, this will work with virtually any of the phones on the market today. I use this also on a tablet, and I've also used this on a laptop, and it all works. Let's go ahead and take a look at the earbuds themselves.
All right, so taking a closer look at the earpieces, they are matte finish. They're very soft to the touch. They do have some controls here, and you'll find that they'll have like little dots that indicate when you can increase and decrease the volume. They're multi-function tap type devices. They have this interesting mic array here, and this is where all that magic happens when it comes to wind protection and also ambient noise. So this is going to help with that, and I'm telling you, they're absolutely fantastic. As you look at the earbud here, you do get your designation if it's left or right. You have your contact points for charging. It does go into your ear canal, and what I found with these is that you need to make sure that you have them locked in order for them not to fall out. And you'll see in the outside video test that I'm jumping up and down doing all this crazy stuff, and they won't come out. But you need to make sure that when you place them in, they're just not placed like this, but that you actually turn them and then they lock into place. So you'll see what they look like once I have them on. Now, they have the gel piece as well. They are not magnetic, so when you're putting them in the case, you'll need to make sure that you have them well placed, and once you lock it in, they're good to go. Now let's take a look at the charging case, and this is one of the best built cases that I've reviewed for the products that fall into the category of these earbud type audio solutions. I have seen metal cases, I've seen plastic cases, and this is definitely a lightweight plastic case. However, it is very well constructed. The hinges are well done, and having used the 65T standard one, have never had an issue with the case. You'll notice that in order to open the case, it will not open on its own just by pulling on it. What you need to do is, so once it's locked into place, I like pressing on the side and then pulling up like this because it just makes it easier to open. Some people will stick their nail here. There's really no need to, as long as you kind of squeeze on the side a little bit, I find, and it just opens up without a problem. You have your charging LED here, you have your charging port. When you're going to do upgrades that are done over the air, you'll download the update through the app onto your earbuds. You put them in here, and then this will start flashing different colors to indicate that. It does not have a magnetic lock. So when you put your earbuds in to each one of these, you're not going to be locking them in with the magnet like we've seen with some other solutions, which means if I flip these over, they're going to come out. But because it has the form fit on each side, you're going to be able to charge them without any problem. Now, when using the earbuds, you're not going to be able to leave the case behind. So this is going to be something that you'll keep in your pocket. This is how you'll turn off the earbuds. And it's also, if you ever run into a situation where your earbuds don't connect or don't turn on for whatever reason, putting them back is kind of like a reset solution. So you'll want to keep these. Remember, you're going to get 2 additional charges out of this. So that's going to give you that really long charging period. And then also you can use this to get that rapid charge. That 15-minute charge is going to give you 1.5 times battery life. All right, so let's talk about specs, battery life, all the things that you may want to know before you consider picking up the 65T Active. The first thing we'll talk about is battery life. And for me, battery life is absolutely critical, especially as you start seeing earbuds that are this small. The biggest challenge I see is, can they operate for more than an hour? Can they operate for 2 hours? For that matter, can they operate for 3? Well, my experience with the 65T, and this is also going to be true with the Active, is that they can operate for up to 5 hours per charge. And you heard that right, 5 hours per charge. In my real life experience using this on a flight or as I've been using them at work, I've had no problems hitting that number. Maybe slightly beneath it. I've never exceeded it, but it's going to vary from the things that you listen to. If you're listening to calls, if you're just using the hear through capabilities, all those things that are going on. But it's been well above 4 hours, very close to 5. Been very satisfied with that. In addition to the charge that you have here, you're going to be able to charge your earbuds 2 times in this case. So that means that you're going to be able to get a total of 15 hours worth of use. Now, under normal circumstances, I use these throughout the week, and I use them for working out. I'll use them, in the office. If I'm on a walk, I listen to audiobooks and things of that nature. I haven't been able to make a full week using these without having to charge the case once. And that's because, again, my usage hasn't been a straight 15 hours back to back. But as I look at my specific usage, the 15 hours has bought me easily a week. Now let's talk about connectivity. From a connectivity perspective, you can have 2 devices connected at the same time. So many of us have a work phone, and then you may have a personal phone. You can have these both connected simultaneously, and when a call comes in, the earbuds are going to answer the call on the phone that is currently ringing. So you can have them connected 2 at a time. Now, the other thing that's really cool about this is that just like many of us, that you may have a laptop, you may have a tablet, and then you have your phones, you can connect up to 8 devices. So that means you have your personal phone, you have your work phone, you can also have your iPad, your Samsung tablet, you can have your MacBook Pro, whatever your setup is, rest assured, you're going to have 8 devices that you can connect. So that gives you great flexibility when it comes to using these for more than just your phone. Now, we need to talk about why these are active, right? So these have a higher IP rating than the 65Ts. This has an IP56 rating, which is going to make it sweat and dust resistant, and it comes with a 2-year warranty. So they are coded a little bit differently, which means that they're going to be more resistant for those active lifestyles. And I'm someone, when I work out, that I really sweat profusely when I go on a run. So having something that is not going to get damaged by sweat or by any kind of dust is definitely a thumbs up. So it has a higher IP rating, and you can definitely use these during workouts. Now, for those of you who are interested in the Active and how it reacts with the app, so the Jabra Elite Active, you'll see that it's connected, and you see the earbuds here in the app. It has a section that's going to be for activity. One of the things that you'll need to do is start that function, so you have to come in here and hit start, and then it's going to track your steps. I find that this is kind of like the beginning of what I see a active function inside of the app. It's very basic at this time, but I would expect that Jabra is going to continue to invest in this and provide much more functionality. But traditionally what you'll find is with these type of motion-based sensors is that it's going to track your steps. It's going to keep track of when you're walking. So if you do wear these when you're going out for a walk, all you have to do is make sure that you connect to the app and you hit start, and then it will track that activity. Now, the world is really now becoming all about assistants. And you ask people, what do you use? Do you use Siri? Do you use Alexa? Do you use Google? What do you use? So the neat thing about these is that you can use them with any of the assistants that are available on the market. So as you set up these earbuds on your phone,
and you configure them, you'll be able to choose which one you want to use. Because let's face it, some of us, if you have an iPhone, you could have Siri and Alexa on your phone. If you're using an Android phone, you could have Google Now and Alexa. And you may not want to choose the one that is part of your phone. You want to be able to work with whichever one you like. So this is going to support them all. So that's also a great thing to know. Now let's talk about call quality. And we're going to do an outdoor test so you can hear what they sound like in an outdoor environment. And you yourself, you're going to be able to perceive and comment on if you think the audio quality is good or not. I can tell you my experience, I give it a double thumbs up. I give them a definite buy because the audio quality is absolutely fantastic, not just for the person who's taking the call, but the person who's on the other side of the call as well. All right, so let's go ahead and check out how these sound in an outdoor environment. So guys, this is going to be an outdoor test. You're going to listen to audio quality from the earbuds from the Jabra Elite 65T. You can hear a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of traffic in our neighborhood. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. You hear the birds chirping, you hear the cars passing by, and what we're going to do is we're going to switch. We're going to use the earbuds. We're going to put them in my ear. I'm going to make a phone call, and I want you to be able to hear the difference. Let's get right to it.
So now we're using the Jabra Elite 65T Active. I have them in my ears. I'm using them as a source of the audio, and hopefully you should be able to hear a big difference, or maybe not hear anything at all. So birds are still out, cars are still passing by, and you can see them passing by on the sides. Now, for those of you who are interested on the overall look and feel for these earbuds when they're in your ear, take a look at how they rest in my ear. So they're in, and I've twisted them so they are in the lock position, in and locked. And I can answer by just tapping the button, raise the volume, turn on that hear through technology just by pressing. And they are very, very comfortable, these to my ears. Let's do a little shake test so you can see if they'll fall out. Let's go ahead and do that. So that's my shake. Stay outside. They don't come out. Jump up and down. Let's do some jumping jacks because, again, they are about active. And they won't come out. Now, the one thing I'll just mention is as you use these and you're running or doing any kind of exercise outside and you start to sweat, I have found that while they keep a good seal and they don't fall out, if you do take them out and you get sweat in your ear, pretty much there's nothing that the earbuds are going to be able to do to help you there. So that was one, and I'm not going to call it a negative, but that's just a fact about, if you do a lot of sweating like I do. So they stay in your ear, they sound great, great bass. Everything is really nice with these, and they have great battery life. So let me know what you think about the audio in this test.
All right, guys, so what did you think about the call, the overall call quality? Let me know in the comment area. I think they did really well, but I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. All right, so now let's get to the other aspect of the earbuds, and that is audio quality. Great bass, great mids and highs. Everything is clear. No scratchy sounds, no teeny music. Fantastic for listening to music. The one thing I'll have to say, and this even happens, when you're taking phone calls, they're loud. They are loud, so you'll want to make sure that you adjust the volume accordingly for your hearing needs. They also provide a really good seal. Take a look at these earbuds for a second. So you notice how these come up. So as we look at them, so you have the array right here, right? You have some buttons that you can press to answer. Their multifunction buttons, and to turn on something that's called hear through technology. And that hear through technology is going to allow you to hear what's going on around you when you have these on. And you may ask yourself, well, why do I need that? Well, it's because when you put these things on, the seal that it creates when these go in your ear is really, really good. So it's going to block out passively a lot of the noise that you have around you. So being able to be on the phone or keep these in your ear and still listen to the person who's talking to you because they want to ask you a question is something that you can do. Now, the other neat thing about these is that you're listening to music. When you take one out of your ear, whatever's going on gets paused. So you can take one out, address the person who you're talking to. When you put it back on, you're going to continue going on. So once again, great noise isolation, and you can see how they go deep into your ear canal. The other thing that you'll find is that they sound great. I have very little ear fatigue with these because they're incredibly light, so I can use them for long periods of time, which is something I couldn't do with some of the other earbuds that I reviewed from Jabra and others because they're just a little bit too heavy. But these are very light, and they feel really good also. Now, the other thing that these are using is Bluetooth 5.0, and one of the things that I like about these that I don't see from a lot of earbuds is that they really keep a solid connection. So I'm able to walk away from my phone and maintain a connection with these. I am also able to not get Bluetooth interference. So think about if you've ever been in a very busy area. So I'll use Chicago since I'm in Chicago. If I'm downtown and I'm wearing earbuds, sometimes the earbuds have problems, or even headphones, or even standard, I would say, Bluetooth headsets for taking phone calls. They have a problem sometimes connecting with the phone because there's so many Bluetooth signals. And what I end up having to do is actually take my phone out of my pocket and bring it closer to where the earbud is so that I can keep a stable connection. These have a solid connection. Back pocket, front pocket, cargo pants, briefcase. I put them in my roller as I'm walking through the airport. No issues with my connectivity. In my office, I can walk over 33 feet with these in an open area and without any problems. If I'm in an area where there's division or kind of walls, I have had good experiences as well. So strong Bluetooth signal, and also even in those congested areas, I've never had one of these drop.
Now, for those of you who are really interested in understanding how the app works, I just wanted to do a brief overview of the app. So what you get is a little indicator on the very top that's going to tell you that your earbuds are both enabled and that you have 100% charge. In the event that you do remove one out of your ear, and I'll do that right now, as soon as I remove it out, you'll notice how it turns off because I took it out. I'm going to put it back in my ear. It will turn on. So you can use these with only one earbud if you needed to. You also then have, here are your settings, so you can see that you can modify this setting, and you have a couple things that you can control. You can set your hear through technology so that you can hear what's going on. You can have it hear through and still listen to things. So like if you're listening to an audiobook or listening to music but you still want to be aware of your surroundings, you can do that. If you want to hear through pause audio, then what will happen is obviously then the audio is going to pause when you do that. Now there are other choices here that you have from an audio experience. You can actually have this so that when you remove one earbud, it just pauses, right? You have an equalizer as well that's going to allow you to adjust and change just your audio experience. These sound really great, so great bass, mids, and highs as we talked, but you can adjust that even further. In your call experience, you have a couple settings, so you do get stereo sound. You're not hearing just in one ear, but you can also then choose if you want enhanced treble or bass, and then also determine how much of your own voice you want to hear in the call. Then you have the assistants, and this is where you're going to be able to hear either the prompts and your caller ID. So things that I turn on, and that's okay. Now you also have multiple predefined settings. So if you're in a train, you can do this, and what will happen is you'll notice hear through is at 50%. It automatically does it so you can hear all the announcements. If you want to focus, you press this and you literally hear how things just melt away because your headset is going to be in quiet mode. You also have relax mode, and then you have your active, which you still have hear through so that you can hear any kind of traffic that may be around you. Here you have information about the actual active earbuds, and you'll notice that these are the blue that I had mentioned in my opening remarks. You can have that, you can see what that looks like and why I prefer the black. Here you can again go through all these different options and then also look at your voice assistant. Right now it's going to phone default, but you'll be able to have Amazon Alexa very soon. And then information about technical information, licenses, and serial numbers and stuff like that you'll find in this area. So overall, my recommendation is definitely a buy for the Elite Active. You can't go wrong with either the 65T standard or the Active. It really comes down to if you're looking for that extra, I would say, protection when it comes to your IP rating, and then if you're looking to have some of those motion settings, just part of your lifestyle. The audio quality, as we talked, is absolutely fantastic from a music experience and also from a call quality, as you saw during the call.
So guys, that concludes our review of the Jabra Elite Active 65T. Thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And once again, I'll see you in the next one.